Hello everyone, today we have a story about a post about your income level and its impact on your standard of living. It's interesting to hear your stories, life hacks, and whether there is any amount of income that you idealize. I'll start with myself. I earn 41K, I rent a medium-sized apartment in the regional center alone, I spend about 30 to 35K per month, I live quite comfortably, but not lavishly, I have some savings. But if I make expensive purchases, I take from these savings. In general, I consider myself middle class, but the highest standard of living I had was living with my partner. When our joint budget was about $1,700, the exchange rate was different back then. So it makes no sense to write in hryvnias. And it was a very comfortable standard of living, within reason, but when we wanted to buy something, we didn't have to go into savings or calculate a monthly budget. We just immediately bought things like a big TV, PlayStation, a trip to the sea, a laptop, and so on, plus regular dinners from delivery or in restaurants and other leisure expenses. Since then, I have idealized an income of $1,700 and consider it to be an upper-class level, and am a little envious of people who have it. As for really expensive purchases, with my worldview I have never dreamed of them. I am a person who rents, with the ability to move at any time. The very idea of being tied to one point for the rest of my life scares me, and takes a taxi if necessary, instead of a car. I don't want children either, not because of savings, but it also turned out to be convenient in this context. And now you share your experience of the impact of your earnings on your standard of living, some life hacks, how to save more, and what amount of money per month you dream of. I'm sure someone will write that I'm just nostalgic about how I lived off my boyfriend. That's not true at all. We earned somewhere around 40/60ths. The following tell. The middle class has such characteristics as each adult family member having their own car, their own housing for the family, the ability to save a certain percentage of their income each month, a stable vacation abroad twice a year, a certain financial cushion that will last for 6 months of no income, etc. $1,700 per person is probably somewhere at the beginning of the lower middle class, but it mostly includes people at the level of IT seniors, cafe and shop owners, department heads in corporations, etc. According to some available reports, 4% of the population in Ukraine belongs to the middle class. Simply not dying of hunger and finally feeling the opportunity to shop in the store is not a sign of the middle class. So, in Ukraine there is almost no middle class, but in the USA and Western Europe there is. The average standard of living in the country does not classify you as middle class, which has, as mentioned above, certain characteristics. In Eswatini, the average person washes his face from under a cow and asks for a slice of bread from militants. This does not classify him as middle class. You did not ask about people with the average standard of living in the country, you used a specific term, received a specific answer that you did not like. So you decided to resort to arguments such as, "Oh, I don't know how, but it's definitely not like that." The following tell. $2,200. I live in a family house, so housing expenses are minimal. The biggest expenses are regular large trips to the store and food delivery. I like to pamper my family with gifts. When you earn a lot, you only want more. When I earned less, I kept the extra money on deposit. Some banks have an unlimited deposit with the ability to withdraw at any time, so the money is always at hand. I periodically bought euros, dollars. Now I do something similar, only I keep most of my money in foreign currency, exchanging $100 for hryvnias as needed. I recommend looking into deposits. The option with an asterisk is an international exchange, where foreign currency deposits have higher interest rates. I've already gone through a phase where money was a big deal and I bought relatively expensive things, like PlayStation. But I quickly lose interest in such things, so whenever possible I try to resell them through online stores. But if something constantly makes you happy, keep it to yourself. I also recommend keeping a list of expenses and income. Some banks allow you to set limits on certain categories of expenses. This is if you feel a tendency to make impulsive purchases. Thanks for watching, come back again.